Hey y'all, it's Lindsey, and I am gonna try to revive Wellness Wednesday here on my channel. So it is the first week of 2020, and I feel like I am slow to start out of the gate. I am not, I feel ill prepared, to be honest with you, and I'm gonna do this anyway because I feel like this is something that I have been wanting to reinstigate on my channel, and now that we are settled here in Ohio, it's I feel like it may not be perfect, but let's keep going anyway. And this year, I'm kind of shifting my focus on my wellness, and I'm in a phase of my wellness where I am wanting to collect more data and just start to find trends and patterns in my wellness and in my health. And I am, backtrack, I have been following a keto lifestyle for the past almost 4 years. End of January will be 4 years for me. It hasn't been perfect, and for a while there when I was pregnant with our third, I jumped off the wagon and went full-blown standard American diet. And then whenever I finished my pregnancy and got to nursing our newborn at the time, I switched over to Trim Healthy Mama, which is it has sort of aspects of keto to it, but it also mixes in carb cycling in not so many terms. Like, they would not term it that way at all, but that's really kind of what it is. So anyway, and so I have been eating keto for, like I said, almost 4 years now, or at least trying on and off the wagon that many times. And I am sticking to keto this go around. I have talked about LeAnn Vogel on my channel here for Wellness Wednesdays in past videos. She talks a lot about the things you can do as a woman in order to make sure that your keto lifestyle and the way of eating works well for women and their hormones. And I feel like she is kind of a bridge between the Trim Healthy Mama and keto like diets. She does straight keto, but she also goes through and she adds carb ups in order to refeed your adrenals and do certain things that help with your hormonal function. So I feel like I'm gonna probably land a little bit closer to how she presents the keto diet, although she does a lot of dairy-free, and I'm not dairy-free. So anyway, I said that I am in data collection mode. So I found a YouTube video. I just kind of stumbled across it a couple of months ago, maybe a month ago, and it was a TEDx talk, and the person speaking, his name is James Smith, and on Instagram he is James Smith PT. He's a physical trainer, and he talks a lot about being a little bit more balanced, I guess, in your approach to diet and exercise and those kinds of things. I disagree with him a lot as far as his stance on sugar is concerned, and I disagree with some other things that he shares, but I feel like following a lot of his information is fascinating to me. And one of the things that he talked about in this particular TED Talk was the fact that women and fat loss are an issue kind of thing. And he kind of discussed the fact that whenever we're tracking and measuring and weighing and doing all of these things, women, they have 4 different physiologies depending on which phase of their cycle they're in. And you cannot compare the first week of your cycle, like your weight and your measurements, to your second week of your cycle compared to the third week of your cycle, et cetera, et cetera. Instead, the way women should be comparing their numbers and their statistics is week 1 of a cycle to week 1 of another cycle, and what's the trend there, and how is that moving? And that really spoke to me. And I know on my channel here, I have talked on previous Wellness Wednesdays about, oh, well, I'm a little bit up this week, and I know it's because my period will start soon, or I'm about to hit this part of my phase, or this phase of my cycle, sorry. And so him saying those things just really he gave such good verbiage to it that really struck a chord with me. And it was stuff that I knew already, but like I said, his language really it just lit my brain up a little bit. So I decided that's what I'll be doing. And for the past few weeks, I've been taking measurements, and like I said, I'm in data collection mode. I'm still eating keto. I am still focusing on trying to eat as cleanly as possible. And I'm also just kind of like tracking all the things as far as measurements and my weight. I have been doing a little challenge with my own self to weigh in every single day, just so that I can have a solid graph of information to sort of see how different things affect me. And I'm just trying to hone in on how does sleep actually affect my body. I know that sleep, like a lack of sleep, affects me tremendously, but what is the measurement there? What is the measurable difference between a night where I get 7.5 to 8 hours of sleep versus a night whenever I get maybe 5 hours of broken sleep? Because, I'm a mom of 3 girls and sleep is tricky. So trying to just sort of discern what factors impact the way that I feel and how healthy I feel and how healthy my numbers show that I am. And I am not doing this for any other purpose than the fact that I'm curious about it, and it's very interesting to me. I don't think that data collection and tracking and focusing on this kind of stuff is healthy for everyone, but the way my brain works, it's very fascinating and it's kind of a fun hobby. So that's what I've been working on as far as wellness is concerned. So sticking to keto, doing all of this data collection so that my next cycle I can compare the numbers like week to week. And we also went ahead and got a membership to our local YMCA. We are in a much more populated area than we were in Wisconsin, and there are many more amenities. So we are members of the Y now. The girls love to get to go to open swim. We'll be doing swim lessons with them now that the next session is going to be starting soon. And I've been I've been excited about the fact that they have childcare. So I will be able to go and work out and strength train and possibly take some classes that just sound fun and interesting to me, without having to try to find a babysitter, because that is a task that I find insurmountable for the most part, especially given the fact that we've only been here for a couple of months, and trying to find somebody you trust is, that it's a relationship building activity to find somebody that you trust well enough to allow in your home and watch your children. So anyway, that is what has been going on here. I don't have a fully functional kitchen yet. We have not fully moved in here to this house that we have bought. We should hopefully be finishing, getting all of the rest of our stuff within the next week or two, and as of the time of this that I'm filming this video. But I've only been kind of just doing a very basic keto. I'm sorry, I'm looking at my kitchen while I'm talking about this. I've been doing pretty basic keto. I have not had a food processor. I've not had my big blender. I did get an Instant Pot Mini, thank you to Indigo Neely, and I had left my big Instant Pot back in Wisconsin because we didn't have a lot of space whenever we decided to go ahead and pack up and move out here, and I had to choose between Instant Pot and air fryer, and at the time air fryer was being used multiple times per day as opposed to multiple times per week. So I felt like that was kind of a necessary choice. But so I've got, the air fryer and the Instant Pot now, but, and a stick blender, and then 2 pots, 2 pans, very, very basic. And it's been working well for the most part. And I think the reason it's been working well is because I know for a fact that I will be getting all the rest of my gadgets and gear shortly. So, haven't been doing too many fancy things. I have made some stuff that's a little bit more complicated, just trying to see if I can do it with a stick blender instead of having to use my real heavy duty Ninja blender. And that's been kind of an experiment for sure. But anyway, that's where I'm at Wellness Wednesdays are hopefully coming back. I'm not going to really make any promises or guarantees, and I feel like this is really more for me than it is for anything else. So it's more or less like I'm letting my own self down if I choose not to do it 1 week or a month or a quarter or whatever. So anyway, thank you so much for sticking with me through this hiatus. I felt a really strong urge to just sort of like do a life update, what we've been doing and everything like that. But then I got to thinking about it and I was like, you know what? Forget it. I'm just going to jump into Wellness Wednesday. We're going to do the things, and I'm not going to sweat the rest. So if you haven't subscribed already, I would love for you to do so, and I will see you in my next video, hopefully.